Let's get right away to questions for Lynn, and they do have to get ready for training. We'll go to Jonathan Tannenwald. Go ahead, JT.
Thank you, Aaron. Hi, Lynn. Thanks for giving us a little bit of your time today. We've now seen you play in the 9 with the national team and as a wide forward with the national team. And would you mind sort of taking us through the differences for you and how effective you found yourself at each? Because certainly from the outside, it looks like with the wide forward position, you've been quite good at it lately. So would you mind a little of that? Thanks.
Yeah. Well, first and foremost, I love playing both. I love just being on the field. So whatever Vladko wants me to do, I will do that. In the 9 position, I think it's more of getting on the end of crosses, but also being a connector, posting up a bit more, and connecting with the midfield. Whereas the wide, I feel like it's more 1v1, dribbling, crossing the ball in, taking on players in more space in and behind the back line. Which I think fits my style a little bit more, but at the same time, I am a big body, so I can definitely hold up the ball if that needed to be in the 9. But I also think defensively, as the 9, you're more guiding more, and as the 7, you are really the one jumping onto the ball, for lack of better words. So yeah, I like both positions. I think that right now I definitely have been more in the 7, and so just trying to take on that role as best as I possibly can and make it fit me and my style of play.
Thanks much, and good luck in the tournament.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jonathan. Let's go back up above the border to Har. Go ahead, Har.
Hi, Lynn. Thank you very much for taking the time to speak with us all today. I'm wondering if the U.S. players, including yourself, if they see the Canada-USA rivalry as a huge rivalry. We know that the U.S. team has won 50 of the last 60 matches, and it's been almost 20 years since Canada did beat the U.S. Is it talked about in the USA camp, or maybe it's just a big thing up here instead? Thank you.
Oh, no, yeah. Well, thank you for your question. That's always going to be a rivalry. They're right up north, and they play in this league, in the NWSL, so a lot of our teammates play for the Canadian teams, and it's always great to beat Canada. It's always great to play Canada, and then you can go back into your club market and continue to talk a little crap to each other. So it's always nice not to play them, but hopefully beat them all the time.
Thanks, Har. Let's go to Melina Gaspar. Go ahead, Melina.
Thank you, Aaron. Thank you, Lynn, for doing this. So, Lynn, you have been on and off the national team since 2016. And after all these years, how do you feel about your journey in the national team, and what part of your game would you say you have improved the most during all these years?
Yeah, I think that's a bit of a loaded question. I definitely have had my successes and had some, I don't like to call them failures because I just think it's part of the journey. And I've learned definitely a lot. I think that obviously I was sad that I didn't make the World Cup team, but I think looking back, it was a blessing in disguise for my mental growth. I think that for the longest time, it was national team or bust for me. And I think I had to take a step back and say, you know what, I just love playing soccer. I love the challenge. I love playing this beautiful game and getting to play it with teammates. And hopefully along the way, I get to tick off some of my dreams. But first and foremost, I just love playing this game. So I think that's definitely part of my game that has grown, is just the mental side. And I think that as a young player, sometimes you can wrap your whole identity with soccer. And when I didn't make that roster, I realized that you kind of have to separate the two. I am Lynn, a soccer player, but I'm also Lynn, an aunt. I'm a daughter. I'm a sister, girlfriend. And so just trying to separate the two and learning that personal growth journey So yeah, obviously disappointed when I'm not in favor, but also just enjoying the journey that soccer is and all its beauty. But so yeah, I would say the mental side of my game, and then in turn, it just makes my confidence on the field grow. So I think when you're trying to maybe fit into a mold instead of just being yourself, it doesn't, not everything always goes your way, but now I've just learned, like I said, my mental side of my game is I'm just trying to be the best Lynn Williams I can possibly be. So if it's bringing a speed that nobody else has ever seen, that's what I'm going to do. If it's getting on the end of balls and having the assists, I think assists are just as important as goals. So yeah, I don't know if that answers your questions particularly, but that is my answer.
I thought that was quite eloquent, Lynn. Well done. Let's go to Kevin Baxter. Go ahead, Kevin.
Hey, Aaron, thank you. That's a rare triple crown for me, a question of all three guests. Lynn, greetings from Pepperdine adjacent out here in Southern California. Your play, regardless of whether you play at the 9 or on a wing or whatever, the forward position for the U.S. national team, I think you could probably take 8 people in the player pool and they could start on any team in the world, but they're not going to take 8 to the Olympics. So what is that competition like, knowing that you're already one of the best in the world, but you're also competing with other people who are the best in the world? How tough is that competition, and what do you need to do to get on that Olympic team? Thank you.
Yeah, I think you can say that about any position on this team or just this whole team in general. I think that's what makes this team so unique and beautiful, is that every day, every training, every even moment outside of training, you have to be on and you have to be consistent. I think when it comes down to picking the team, it's going to be who's in form and also who is healthy. So I think first and foremost, staying healthy, just continuing to grow and being consistent, but being here in camp and training and competing with the best in the world is only going to make yourself better, which in turn is going to make the team better. So I am, obviously it's definitely stressful sometimes, but I'm happy I am not the coach, because I think that's going to be a hard decision come time to select the team.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kev. We got to get Lynn to get ready for training, so we're going to do one more, and that's going to go to Donald Wine. Go ahead, Donald.
Thanks, Aaron. Hi, Lynn. Last year during Olympic qualifying, you were able to participate in that. You had, 5 games in the span of a week and a half. Mm-hmm. This time around, this is kind of set up like the Olympic group stage. What do you take from last year, having so many games in such a short period of time, as far as the turnaround? How do you use that to kind of prepare you mentally and physically and emotionally for these 3 games against 3 top quality teams?
Yeah, it's definitely a tight turnaround, but I think that's where the professionalism comes in. It's making sure that you are recovering, doing all the things you can to recover quick, and so you can be the best for the next game. I definitely think also just playing in the NWSL helps with that. In the past couple of years, we've had 3 games in a week, or 5 games in like 10 days, which is also crazy when you think about it. So just knowing that, but it comes down to just being professional and making sure you're sleeping, and if you aren't sleeping well, taking sleep aids to hopefully, like melatonin, get that in, recovering right, making sure you're stretching and doing all the little things, and then mentally just, it's a mental grind, but you got to stay in it. And I think the people that can do that the best are the ones that you see succeed the most.
Awesome. Thanks, Donald. Thanks very much for your time, Lynn. We'll let you go get ready for training.
Thank you guys so much.